Blueberries Medical Corp is a Latin American licensed producer of cannabis, with its primary operations located in the Bogota-Savannah region of central Colombia, and operations currently being established in Argentina. Blueberries is fully licensed for cultivation, production, domestic distribution, and international export of CBD and THC-based medical cannabis. The company has 106 million issued and outstanding shares, with management ownership sitting at 18.68%. Blueberries Medical Corp is listed on the CSE under the symbol BBM. Joining me now is Patricio Stoker. He's the CEO of Blueberries Medical Corp, and he joins me in studio. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you very much, Ricky, for inviting me today.
Of course. So tell us a little bit about your company.
Okay, Blueberries Medical is a leading Latin America cannabis producer of extracts and oils of premium medicinal grade.
Okay, and what sets you apart from other Colombian cannabis companies?
Okay, first of all, we have several differentiators. We have locations and operations in Colombia and in Argentina. In Colombia, we're a fully licensed cannabis company, ready to produce agriculturally, to extract, to make products, and to export to the world, wherever this is possible. And in Argentina, we have a joint venture. So on both locations, we have a great production cost advantage. So some people say it's an unfair production cost advantage because it is so differentiating from the northern and the southern producers around the world. So this is the key differentiator. Our second differentiator is that we have a very scalable model that we can produce how much ever is needed. Mm-hmm. The third one is our team, a very experienced team that can deploy the business plan and the execution as we're expecting this. Finally, we have a very, very interesting point, which is still our valuation. We're still like a secret. If you compare us with the other peers in Latin America, mm-hmm. We are one of the 3-4 leading producers in Latin America that will be successful and that will lead the market on the long run. And we are the lowest valued right now. Probably after the next days and the next weeks, this will change.
I hope so for you. And do you currently export anywhere?
No. We're the upcoming catalyst for this year is to do the first commercial crop in Q3 in Colombia, to do the first extractions, also to have a finalized extraction plant and the EU GMP certification in Colombia within this year. So we will start export and sales in Colombia within 2019.
So you're not currently selling right now?
We're currently not selling.
Okay.
No.
So that's what investors have to look forward to. Okay. So I want to talk
But what's very important,
yes.
No company is currently exporting out of Colombia.
But selling.
Some are selling, yes,
right.
Yes.
Okay. Now, you recently listed publicly. You're currently listed right now on the Canadian Stock Exchange under the ticker symbol BBM. Has there been a lot of news from your company since you first listed?
Yes, there are several news that were coming up. The main news are the new joint venture with the Argentinian government. Mm-hmm. I think this is something key. Another important news is that I joined the team.
Yes, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Yes, March 20th, right?
Yes, correct.
From Farmacello.
I had been developing the last 4.5 years the cannabis business in Colombia. Mm-hmm. So we started with Farmacielo, a great company that was the first one to get into Colombia and develop this market. And we started when this wasn't possible, and we started to talk to the ministers and to the government in general to convince them about the great opportunity of producing or in Colombia and generating a new industry. Finally, after several years, we convinced the government, okay, and the rest of the story of Farmacielo, you know it. I had been the chairman of Farmacielo, director and CEO for several years. Now Farmacielo is public, a company which is close to $1 billion. Blueberries is a company that is replicating a similar business model, mm-hmm. but improving it with our strategic partnerships and worldwide distribution concepts.
Okay, so let's go a little bit further along that line. You're talking about you're very similar to Farmacello, but there are some differences. So can you elaborate on how you plan to kind of differentiate yourself from Farmacello and maybe be more successful than your previous company?
Okay, the key issues which differentiate us are that we also have a production location in Argentina.
Yes.
We're starting the pilot project within this year, the first hectare, and we'll ramp it up to 30 hectares in total, the big differentiator.
And what would your production capacity be?
The total production capacity in around 5 years would be around 2 million kilograms of dried flour.
At what cost?
This capacity could be ramped up quicker or bigger, whatever is needed.
Okay.
So we have a very, very scalable project in Colombia and in Argentina. In Colombia, we're in the best flour production region. 70% of all flours that are produced in Colombia are produced in the region where we have our 2 owned properties in the Bogotá Sabana. In Argentina, we have this joint venture that allows us to scale to whatever size we would like to scale. Our cost of production is in Colombia is around 10 cents a gram.
So it's all outdoor?
We are running our business model more conservatively.
It's all outdoor? All outdoor
No,
growth?
it's all in open air greenhouses.
Okay.
It's the same model as the flower growers in Colombia. It's not a greenhouse like you imagine here in Canada. It's an open air greenhouse. It's a greenhouse that has a much lower cost to generate. But this assures you that you don't have any pollution of your plants, that you give the exact water to the plants, that you protect them better, and you have steady temperatures. And the rest is done by nature in Colombia.
And sun. You guys are lucky.
Yes,
You have
Colombia
that
has
all year round, right?
a little bit different compared here to Toronto.
Just a little.
Not today.
No. I want to talk to you also a little bit about your partnership with the government, because that's something that is a bit different from other cannabis companies. So how does that also, give you a leg up in the industry?
Okay, we have this partnership with the province of Jujuy, which is in the subtropical part, very north of Argentina, a region where a lot of tobacco is also grown, very well logistically located, close to an airport, a free trade zone that we will establish there for our production. The advantage to do this with a government entity in this joint venture will allow us to enter easily the Argentinian market, develop products for this market and for the Mercosur market.
Okay.
So here, this opens us better opportunities to get into countries like Brazil.
Yes.
Countries like Mexico, we will approach directly from Colombia.
Okay. Now I want to ask you about your name. Why Blueberries?
Blueberries was a company that was founded in 2015. And originally, the founders brought a new variety or a special variety from Oregon of blueberries to Colombia. They developed this successfully and started selling product to the major or to the biggest retailers in the country. In 2017, the founders of this company discovered the cannabis business that we were developing in parallel in this country, got the first CBD license. In 2018, we're fully licensed. But this is the reason of the name Blueberries, which is, by the way, a beautiful name.
It's lovely. Just, curious as to how it came about. So we're almost out of time, but, of course, there are a lot of investors who watch this show. So I wanted to just ask you kind of an investor-related question, which is, if you could tell me a little bit about, market cap, how many shares you have outstanding, anything that might draw investors to putting their money in your company.
Okay, I think the most interesting part of our company is that we are still very interestingly valued in comparison to our direct peers. Farmacielo has a market cap close to $1 billion. We have a market cap close to 60-70 million Canadian dollars. So the potential is really high. I expect that Farmacielo will do well and multiply its value, probably 2 or 3 more times, but this is my guess. Here I see a much bigger multiple. We are only a few months away from Pharmacielo.
Okay. Well, I want to thank you for coming in, and hopefully we can talk to you again later in 2019.
I thank you very much for the invitation, and I'm always available for you.